Hello, everyone, this is Vice Melon. There are always some profiteers who are trying to trick customers. For some reasons, customers sometimes have no way to deal with the merchants. So, there is a profession on the internet that specializes in delivering justice and fighting against profiteers. That is cracking down on fake internet celebrities. Everyone loves it. Look at these anti-counterfeiting internet celebrities punching profiteers to help customers get rid of their bad moods. The same goes for an internet celebrity named Brother Kwangbiao. He is dedicated to seeking justice for his fans. But what is unexpected is that this all-powerful anti-counterfeiting hero was eventually killed, exposed a bunch of harmful black material, and turned it into a laughingstock for racists. There are thousands of anti-counterfeiting bloggers on the platform, and the reason Brother Kwangbiao stands out among them is that his scenes are real enough and always very thrilling. He started from 2023, he started to crack down on counterfeiting, but what made him completely famous was the incident of ghost writing by merchants in Lianyungang seafood market in May this year. At that time, he went to the local seafood market to conduct an undercover investigation and found that there was a ghost writing phenomenon here. He argued hard with evidence, but after the merchant was exposed, he actually led other merchants and market managers to surround Brother Kwangbiao and even snatched his mobile phone in front of the photographer. After being robbed, the two fled the scene in panic. What was horrifying was that even after he had left, the market managers were still with him. He chased after him and shouted that he must delete the video. In the end, the Kwangbiao brothers and the photographer ran away separately before escaping from the place. Once this thrilling short video was uploaded to the internet, it triggered a huge wave of indignation among netizens, which accelerated the process. As the video spread, Brother Kwangbiao also became popular on the internet because of his authentic and unpretentious anti-counterfeiting. He suddenly gained more than 3 million fans and became one of the most popular anti-counterfeiting bloggers after Taitu became a villain and promoted good. At that time, countless fans sent Brother Kwangbiao messages. Everyone hopes that they can come to their city to seek justice for themselves. In July this year, a netizen asked them for help and said that he spent 180,000 to buy an accident car at a second-hand car dealer called Wanchi Research Club. After driving for a year, he went to repair the car due to some malfunctions, only to find that the car's front frame and front ram beam had cutting marks. Therefore, he believed that car was a major accident car. Generally speaking, such a major accident car cannot be repaired. The Kwangbiao brothers, who were selling the first time, felt very angry after seeing the lack of money and food in the seafood market. The lack of money and food in the seafood market only makes people suffer, but selling cars with serious accidents can cause lives. So, they teamed up with 3 boys and the car inspection agency to start a second-hand car anti-counterfeiting war. The process: the 3 boys inspected the car, and it was indeed a major accident car. After preparing sufficient evidence, a group of 7 of them came to the car dealership with a vehicle inspection report and prepared to defend the rights of the fans and face the boss of the Quake car dealership brought by the Cyclonus brothers. Speechless, as a compensation to the customer, he decided to buy back the car in full and treated it as a free loan. He drove the car for a year and finally paid 6,000 yuan to the Kwangbiao brothers for disassembly and inspection fees. Logically speaking, this matter it should be over here. The fans returned the car, and the profiteers suffered a loss. It was a perfect anti-counterfeiting incident, but silence often brews a bigger explosion. They did not expect that the reason why the boss would recycle the car so calmly was not because he was afraid of being exposed. It was because he had confidence in the car. As expected, it didn't take long for the incident to take a major turn. The owner of the car dealership invited 2 professional appraisal agencies to live broadcast on camera to prove his innocence. The results were confirmed by both appraisal agencies on the spot. He said that this car was not a car that had a major accident. A staff member of one of the agencies also guaranteed that if it was a car that had a major accident, he would be willing to refund 1 and 3 in compensation. Dare to say such a bold statement is enough to prove his confidence. But why are there 2 different cars for the same car? Conclusion: some netizens in the comment area conducted detailed research and comparisons and found that the 3 boys' vehicle inspection agency was taking quotes out of context to deliberately confuse the public. The 3 boys, as vehicle inspection agencies, would actually make such low-level mistakes. This is likely to be a special investigation targeting cars. As the incident unfolded, more and more people supported the dealer's boss. As a result, Kwang Biao's reputation was affected, and 100,000 fans evaporated overnight. Fans who originally followed him are now opposing him in the comment section. His attitude required him to apologize to the owner of the car dealership. Brother Kwang Biao never expected that at first. They just wanted to take the opportunity to gain some fans by cracking down on counterfeit ghosts and cross-banks to crack down on counterfeit second-hand cars. But now it has turned into such a scene, watching them continue to lose fans. They panicked in the live broadcast to respond to the deficiencies in the fight against counterfeiting and deleted the relevant videos. Even though anyone with a discerning eye could see that it was the Kwang Biao brothers' fault, they didn't really want to admit their mistakes because once they did, they would turn into chasing popularity and harming businesses. The image that the villain had previously established as a professional anti-counterfeiter will also collapse. In desperation, they can only temporarily lower their heads and face the camera and promise that if the professional inspection agency confirms that there is no problem with the vehicle, they will apologize and compensate for the damage. The testing agency hired by the boss is accurate, but obviously netizens will no longer buy their account. No matter what happens next, the current results have come out. The boss of the car dealership has performed a cesarean section and self-certified that this car is indeed not a major accident car. The Kwang Biao brothers' crackdown on counterfeiting became a joke and made them the target of public criticism. Seeing that they were losing almost all their fans, they could only start hurriedly broadcasting live broadcasts again to apologize and admit their previous mistakes. Perhaps just saying sorry on live broadcasts was not sincere enough. I took my girlfriend to go to the boss to apologize. How arrogant I was at first, how humble I am now. Facing Brother Kwang Biao and his group, the owner of the car dealership said he would not accept the apology. Brother Kwang Biao wanted to rectify the second-hand car market, but ended up ruining his own. Seeing that it was impossible for their jobs to be forgiven by their bosses, they could only quietly delete all the videos of car dealers cracking down on counterfeiting and stop updating, preparing to wait until the heat of the incident subsided before making a comeback. However, netizens would not give up on cracking down on fake anchors. Of course, they are worthy of recognition for safeguarding the legitimate rights and interests of consumers and protecting the vulnerable party. However, the anti-counterfeiters do not have sufficient evidence and want to use traffic to suppress it, which deviates from the purpose of anti-counterfeiting. More and more netizens spontaneously withdraw their support from Kwang Biao brothers and are framed. Some netizens pointed out that when the owner of the car dealership defended his rights, a group of Kwang Biao brothers rushed into the office without the consent of the owner of the car dealership, set up a camera, and accused the boss of being extremely arrogant and like a gangster. Their speech made people wonder whether it was the Kwang Biao brothers or the other two. It is really unreasonable for the arrogant brothers to be so unscrupulous in the name of safeguarding their rights. If the boss had not been emotionally stable, he would have been scolded by the fans of the Crazy Brothers. Of course, in addition to criticizing the Crazy Brothers, everyone has not forgotten that the three boys and the accomplices have a mysterious nature. Netizens revealed the truth about the old acquaintance between the owner of this second-hand car and the three boys who were members of the Vehicle Inspection Agency. They came prepared to defend their rights this time and specially roped in Brother Kwang Biao, a big blogger, to take action. After a fierce attack from netizens, the boy had to close the business in despair. The Kwang Biao brothers overturned the car. The three boys went out of business. The owner of the car dealership had the last laugh. Logically speaking, this incident is finally coming to an end. However, the robbers were pushed by everyone. The Kwang Biao brothers were exposed one after another. More first, a mysterious netizen left a message in the comment area and revealed that Brother Kwang Biao was a street gangster in his early years and had tattoos all over his clothes. Before becoming an internet celebrity, he also worked as a male model in Hubei Experiment. In order to prove that this is not a rumor, the former financial backer of Brother Kwang Biao stood up. He came out with his real name and accused him of cheating on his relationship and defrauding his money. Before the Kwang Biao brothers became popular, he provided a lot of financial support to their team. But when this pretty boy gained a certain number of fans, he betrayed his feelings and abandoned him to find a new girlfriend. The eldest sister, the sponsor, once asked he returned part of the investment, but Brother Kwang Biao not only refused to return it, but also verbally insulted him. However, for the sake of their previous relationship, the eldest sister, the sponsor, did not want to make it too embarrassing with her former lover. After much thought, she chose to endure it, but she did not expect Kwang Biao. It's hard to change the nature of a brother, but he went too far, and she couldn't help but accuse him. Faced with the conclusive evidence, Brother Cyclonus had to apologize again. He hoped that fans would give him another chance. Obviously, Brother Cyclonus said this to his fans. I didn't sincerely apologize to the sponsor. However, before the story of Kwang Biao brothers and the sponsor's sister was clear, another person jumped out and joined the battlefield. This person was a former member of Kwang Biao brothers. In fact, at the beginning, there were two members of Kwang Biao brothers. Can Long, a member and partner of the company, broke the news online that the two had differences due to some reasons after the account became popular. After negotiation between the two, Can Long finally decided to withdraw from the account and own it solely by the Kwang Biao brothers. As a price, he needs to ask Can Long paid a transfer fee of 600,000 yuan. However, after Can Long drafted the contract, the Kwang Biao brothers went missing. He couldn't come up with that much money, so he kept waiting. But after checking the back-end income of the Kwang Biao brothers, he found that the advertising income of this account was as high as 150,000, so he decided to publicly collect debts from him. The continuous evidence was placed in front of the Kwang Biao brothers, and they were watching. The more fans he has, he can only continue to broadcast live apologies and clarify the truth incoherently. But now no one believes his words anymore. After all, it is not difficult to see from various circumstances that Brother Kwang Biao is actually a villain who is treacherous and lies constantly. And his sense of justice in the video is nothing more than a performance in front of the camera. In the end, the Cyclonus brothers also announced that they would permanently stop updating their latest works and stayed at the clarification video in August. Reviewing the success and failure of the Cyclonus brothers makes people think of the final Dragon Slayer. What Jackie Chan said is different from the Dragon Slayer warrior in that most of his judgments against every unscrupulous businessman are based on the voices and interests of fans rather than from the true heart of justice. When he is immersed in the cheers of the spectators for the sake of popularity, raising the dragon-slaying sword again and again, I have unknowingly forgotten that I am also a dragon. Cyclonus will overturn sooner or later. Remember, don't race anymore in the future. The videos of Brother Cyclonus always have loud voices and think that their own opinions are not wrong, and they impose them on others. The other party is indeed undesirable. Well, that is for today's video. Thank you, friends, for subscribing. See you next time for more exciting content.